Hey everybody, coming to you from Dodger Stadium on Friday night. Giants win 6-2. The first game of the series actually sets them up pretty well. This was a tough one, even with Logan Webb on the mound. Yamamoto was on the other side. This is easily the toughest pitcher they will see this weekend, although Clayton Kershaw has been very difficult on them over the years. He's not what he was, but still a left-handed starter. Giants have had a hard time with those. But 6-2 win gets them into a tie for first place through 70 games. This is the first time, you can probably guess this, since 2021 that they have a share of first this late in the season. Just wanted to go through some of what we saw tonight because it'll be a few days before we can wrap this up on Giants talk. Have stories on NBC Sports Bay Area about Casey Schmitt, about Logan Webb and his cutter, but wanted to go through some of that here as well. Schmidt, obviously the hero tonight. He said he took it a little bit personally when he thought they kind of pitched around Wilmer Flores to load the bases and get to him there with two outs and gets a pitch down in the zone and he drove it. You saw a little bit of swagger from Casey coming out of the box as well. His teammates enjoyed that. Certainly, I think, probably not at the top of your list of who would have the most aura from the Giants this year. All the people online who are tracking aura all the time. But that was up there as far as what we've seen this year. And he did admit, he said, look, I took that a little bit personally. He said, who wouldn't? He wanted to make sure that he came through in that situation. A big hit for him, a big hit for the team. And really has done a really nice job outside of one misplay at third base since Matt Chapman went down. We did talk to Chapman this afternoon. He saw a specialist on Friday morning here in Los Angeles, and he got good news. He's healing well. The pain is subsiding, but this is three sprained fingers on his throwing hand. This is going to be a bit for him. When he was talking about Casey, he said, look, it's probably 3 or 4 more weeks for him at third base. So a real opportunity here for Casey, I think, not just to prove something to the Giants, but maybe to 29 other teams and someone who might look at him and go, that guy's like a Gold Glove caliber third baseman in a lot of ways. And we'll see what's in the bat. We'll see where the stall ends up for Casey when Matt Chapman comes back. We could still see him at first base a lot. I think he might start cutting into the playing time at second base if he keeps hitting like this. But a big night for Casey and a big night in his development. And I think you're seeing what he is capable of when he's able to play every day. It was a really difficult role for him earlier this year, moving around, learning a new position. But he's playing every day. He's playing at his natural position and he is doing a lot to help the Giants. Another guy who's filled in quite a bit, the guy right next to him, Willy Adames. They never really got that 1-2 punch with Chapman and Adames going, but he has, since Chapman went on the IL in 4 games, 5 hits, 6 runs, 6 RBI, 3 home runs. It wasn't just a Coors thing, even though his longest home run in 6 years came at Coors Field earlier this week. He gets a home run here in the first inning, and Bob Melvin said afterwards, just the tension is gone from his swing. He looks relaxed. It looks like those 2 days off really helped him. So that's huge in a lot of ways, obviously, for the Giants. But I think most importantly, they needed someone to step up with Chapman out for the next 3 to 4 weeks. And looks like Willie's going to be capable of doing that or try to do that. And at the very least, he's helped him quite a bit this week. And I think people hopefully feel a little bit better about the long-term future. Because a month ago, it was easy to have some real questions about where this was all headed for him. But he looks like himself the last week, and that's a really good sign for the Giants. And then, Logan Webb, he does what he does. 7 innings. That's all he does all the time. 7 innings. He's done it 7 times now in 15 starts. I thought what was fascinating tonight is he threw 29 cutters. It is a pitch he started throwing last year against the Dodgers. The first one he threw, I believe, was against Shohei Ohtani, and just wanted something that would get in on the left-handed hitters and give him a different look, allow him to pitch inside to those guys, keep teams from diving out to get his changeup and his sinker. So more cutters, more four-seamers against this Dodgers team. He had never thrown more than 20 before in the big leagues, and not thrown more than 14 this year. But 29 tonight, gets 22 strikes. And those top three guys in the lineup, I mean, 2 of them, that's who it's really based for. And then also just another look for Mookie Betts, who has seen him quite a bit now. Those top three guys, 0 for 8 with 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, no damage. So it's working. And I think what's fascinating is we saw this 2 weeks ago against the Padres. He throws 41 sliders, his most since 2022. These are teams that have seen him a lot. These are teams that at times have given him a little bit of trouble the last couple of years, and he has found a way somewhat deep into his career to throw different looks at him. I think that's really impressive. And then the other thing tonight, hits 95 3 times in the first inning. He had done that in his previous start as well, hit 95 3 times. Before that, he had done it once all year. So the velocity is there. We know he's going to give you innings all the time. He has different ways now to pitch to different lineups around the league and different looks. And you know, the changeup is always there. The sinker is always there. I can't wait for the start where he throws 40 four-seamers because that is a pitch that Giants pitching coaches have always been like, you are too involved with your four-seamer. He just wants to let it rip when he can. That'll come at some point, but that'll be a fun one for me just having covered him for so long. But it's really cool, I think, what you've seen from him the last few weeks. The sliders against San Diego, the cutters here against Los Angeles, and those two starts against two teams the Giants are trying to beat in the National League West. 14 innings for Logan Webb, 8 hits, 2 runs. So he is doing what he does, and he helped the Giants move into first place tonight here at Dodger Stadium through 70 games. You know, as Logan said, it's June 13th. It doesn't mean anything, but I do think it's a little bit of a statement, no matter what happens the rest of this weekend, that they are here, they're hanging around, not just to the Dodgers, but the rest of the division and teams that are maybe thinking they'll tail off in the second half. I mean, they're without Matt Chapman, without Patrick Bailey. They come in here tonight and face the Dodgers ace and find a way to get it done. And that's what good teams do. And this is starting to build now, 8 wins in 9 games for them. So you don't ever have to give those back. I think as you look at what it'll take to get into the postseason, they're starting to build a real buffer with some of these other teams and putting themselves in a good spot. So a big night for the Giants here tonight. Full recap coming on Monday on the Giants Talk podcast with Cole. I will say, anyone who listened to the last podcast, I've always said, Casey Schmitt, there's a lot of talent there. They just have to let him play, find a spot for him, and we'll see what he can do. So maybe we're seeing part of that.